The pregnant woman's eyes grew wide, filled with fear, as the German shepherd continued barking, loud and relentless. She instinctively took a shaky step backward, her hand immediately flying to her belly, cradling it protectively. "Please, please make him stop," she begged, her voice trembling, eyes darting around desperately for help. But Rex didn't retreat. Not even a bit. Instead, he let out a deep, low growl, his muscles tight like coiled wires, every inch of him alert, eyes locked on her like she was hiding something. Something dangerous? Mark exchanged quick glances with the other security officers nearby. He trusted Rex, deeply. This wasn't just random barking. Rex wasn't a dog who acted on impulse. He was highly trained to detect explosives, illegal substances, even threats hidden in plain sight. But this was different. A gut feeling twisted inside Mark. Could she be carrying something? Something not visible to the naked eye. Was she somehow a threat? Just then, one of the officers, a tall man with a square jaw and no-nonsense tone, stepped forward. "Ma'am," he said firmly, "we're going to need to ask you a few questions." The woman's face went pale as snow. I don't understand. I didn't do anything wrong," she stammered, her voice cracking under the weight of panic. All around them, murmurs began to rise. Other passengers stopped in their tracks, whispering to one another. Suspicion clouded some faces. Concern others. All eyes flicked back and forth, from the barking dog to the frightened woman. Mark hesitated. This could be a simple misunderstanding. Right? But he knew Rex. He had never seen him behave like this unless something was seriously wrong. There was no more time to waste. "We need to take her in for additional screening," Mark decided aloud. His voice steady but filled with urgency. Whatever was going on, they had to get to the bottom of it. Quickly. 2 uniformed officers stepped in, handling her with care but firm direction. They escorted her toward the private security screening room. Her breathing came in short, shallow bursts, and her hands trembled as they hovered over her belly. "Please," she whispered again, barely audible. "I don't even know what's happening." Mark followed close behind, Rex at his side. The dog was still tense, still alert, still locked in. His gaze fixed squarely on the woman like nothing else in the world mattered. Mark had never seen his partner this persistent. Inside the room, things moved fast but carefully. One officer searched through her bag. Another prepared for a full body scan. A female officer stepped in gently, her voice a notch softer. "Ma'am, do you have any medical conditions we should be aware of?" The woman shook her head, clearly distressed. "No, well, I'm 7 months pregnant," she said, her voice quivering like she wasn't even sure anymore. Outside the room, Rex began to pace, back and forth. His nails tapped against the floor, his breathing quick. Then came the scratching, frantic, insistent. Mark frowned deeply. This was not normal behavior. If there were no explosives, no drugs. Then what had Rex picked up on? Suddenly, inside the room, the woman gasped, loud and sharp, and hunched forward, clutching her stomach with both hands. Her face twisted in pain. Something was wrong. Very wrong. The room froze. Everyone stopped. Her voice shook. "Something's wrong," she whispered through clenched teeth. Sweat beaded across her forehead, and her breaths turned ragged. Mark's instincts flared like sirens. "Get medical help now," he barked at the closest officer. The woman's legs gave out, and she collapsed into a nearby chair, her body shaking, her face pale with panic and fear. Rex scratched harder at the door, a low whimper echoing in the hall. But now, he wasn't just on alert. He was distressed. "What's happening?" one officer asked, eyes wide. "Is she going into labor?" Another muttered, almost to himself. The woman shook her head violently, breathless. No, it's too soon. It's too early. "Oh God, please help me," she cried out, her voice raw with terror. Within moments, a team of paramedics pushed past security, rushing to her side. One knelt beside her. Ma'am, stay with me, stay focused. We're getting you to the hospital now, he said with urgency. Mark's heart thundered. This wasn't about screening anymore. This was about saving lives. Babies. As the paramedics worked quickly, checking her vitals, prepping her for transport, Rex suddenly lunged forward. He sniffed the air again, more frantically this time. His ears pinned back, a growl rumbling deep in his chest. Mark felt his stomach twist into a knot. What is it now? He murmured, dread sinking in. One of the medics, frowning, pressed his hand gently to the woman's abdomen. His expression shifted instantly. Wait, he said, voice dropping. This isn't just premature labor. Something else is happening here. The woman's breaths grew shallower, quicker. Her eyes darted helplessly from face to face. I don't know what's wrong, she whispered, tears falling freely. Please, save my baby. Mark's fists clenched. Rex had known. He had sensed something that none of them could see. Then came the chilling confirmation. A medic turned to Mark, his face grim. There's an internal rupture, he said. We have to get her into surgery right now or neither of them will make it. Mark froze, ice in his veins. Rex hadn't been sounding an alarm. He had been trying to save lives. Suddenly, chaos. Everyone sprang into motion. The paramedics wheeled her rapidly out of the room, shouting directions, pushing past stunned bystanders who had gathered to watch. Mark and Rex ran alongside the stretcher, weaving through crowds. Her breathing was uneven. Her eyes fluttered, on the brink of unconsciousness. Stay with us, one medic urged, gripping her hand tightly. We're almost there. Rex whined again, the sound haunting. His eyes never left her. His body was still tight, but his heart seemed to ache with worry. Mark swallowed hard. If Rex hadn't acted, they wouldn't have known. They might have let her walk right past them. As the ambulance doors slammed shut, the woman turned her head just slightly. Her lips quivered. Thank you, she whispered, her gaze falling on Rex. The German shepherd gave a soft, comforting whimper, almost like he understood. Mark gave him a light pat. You did good, buddy, he murmured. And with that, the ambulance sped away, sirens wailing into the night. Hours passed. Long, quiet, excruciating hours. Mark sat outside the hospital, Rex curled up at his feet. His hand moved absently through the dog's fur, waiting, hoping. Rex had calmed now, but his ears still perked at every sound, every set of footsteps that came near. Then finally the doors swung open. A doctor approached, face unreadable. Mark stood quickly, breath held tight in his chest. She made it, the doctor said, finally breaking into a small, warm smile. Both mother and baby are stable. Mark let out a breath he didn't even realize he'd been holding. Thank God, he whispered, glancing down at Rex. The dog wagged his tail slowly, as if sensing the relief in the air. There was an undetected internal rupture, the doctor explained. If we hadn't intervened when we did, they wouldn't have survived. He paused, shaking his head in disbelief. I don't know how your dog sensed it, but he saved her life. At that moment, a nurse stepped forward, holding a small folded note. From the mother, she said softly. Mark opened it,